Hello and welcome back to Game Patrol. Oh, feels good to say that again. I'm your host, Landon Plumley, and what's up, guys? It's been a minute. It's been 2 whole months of nothing. I'm really sorry about that. I have a video on my YouTube channel that goes more in depth about what exactly has been going on the past 2 months. But if you want to find out more in depth, you can totally go ahead and look at things there. But essentially what happened was, like, just a quick little summary, a combination of both coronavirus obviously being a big deal, and I realized that I didn't silence my phone before I started recording, so we're doing that now. And some mental things that I was going through. I've mentioned on the podcast before that I had, it's been a roller coaster of a year. It's just continuing to go that way. My God, like every month has been different. I mean, everybody's been saying, 2020, like, in January we almost had World War III, February Australia was on fire, March coronavirus, April aliens, and now May we have killer hornets. But while all that's been going on, I've been having completely different stuff happen every month for myself. So it's been a lot. And so basically, yeah, a lot of stuff I've been going through. It was really, really hard to find motivation to do anything. I actually had a 10th episode of Game Patrol filmed. I just never got around to uploading it. It just never happened. And then I kind of stopped playing video games. I didn't really do a whole lot. I played all of the major games that I talked about on the last episode 2 months ago, except for Bleeding Edge. I never even touched it. I didn't get the chance to play Half-Life Alyx. The person that I was supposed to use their VR headset, they just kind of completely, it didn't work out. And so I never got around to playing Half-Life Alyx. I played a little bit of Resident Evil 3. But one game I did play, well, okay, Resident Evil 3 wasn't on the last episode, but I did play a lot. I have been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'll talk a little bit about that later on. But yeah, I didn't really do much, and so I've been uploading on my YouTube channel for the past few weeks now, and that is thanks to my good friend James. And so he gave me the motivation to start doing videos again. And even like before, like back when I was doing the podcast, that was the only thing I was doing. I wasn't making any YouTube videos. And so he got me back into making actual YouTube videos. And so when May rolled around, I was like, I should start doing the podcast again. And so I'm back after a 2-month hiatus and very happy to be here. And so yeah, let's jump into it. And so nothing's changed. I mean, obviously stuff has changed, but like in terms of format, nothing's really changed here. And so let's get into the games coming this week. Now, because of coronavirus, a lot of games are getting delayed, obviously, and like people are just kind of on hold and waiting to see how this all plays out. But we are still getting some games sprinkled in. And so today, for you guys, tomorrow for myself, Void Bastards is coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. It is a game that released last year on PC and Xbox. It is put through Humble Bundle, I believe. It was, developed and published by them. But forget everything you know about first-person shooters. Void Bastards asks you to take charge, not just point your gun and fire. Your task is to lead the ragtag Void Bastards out of the Sargasso Nebula. You make the decisions where to go, what to do, and who to fight. And then you must carry out that strategy in the face of strange and terrible enemies. So I've heard good things about this game, and so I think it's $30. Not a full price game, a fun little indie-ish type game. If you're a fan of like arcadey shooters, then this is the one for you. So next up on Tuesday, this I think just got announced within the past few days. Halo 2 Anniversary is coming to PC on Tuesday. So, as the next installment of Halo the Master Chief in Halo the Master Chief Collection, following the destruction of Halo, the Master Chief returns to Earth to prevent the Covenant invasion, leading to a battle with long-hidden secrets that will dramatically alter the course of the human Covenant conflict forever. But I feel like reading that description is irrelevant because you know exactly what Halo 2 is. And so it is coming to PC on Tuesday. So now you are able to play Halo 1, 2, and Reach on PC. Well, I shouldn't say now. Tuesday you'll be able to do that because Reach and 1, was it just, I think, yeah. So Reach was the first to come to PC. It came to both PC and Xbox One, and then they've been slowly adding. Then they added 1, now they've added 2, and then supposedly, assuming coronavirus has not affected this, the rest of the Master Chief Collection will come to PC as well by the end of the year. And so that comes out on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. And so it's a racing video game based on the pod racing, or that's for Nintendo Switch, by the way. It comes out for PS4 as well, but that's not until later in the month. So it is a racing game based on the pod racing sequence featured in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The game features all of the racers and race courses on Tatooine featured in The Phantom Menace. It also adds several new courses, some on Tatooine, others on various planets. So this was actually a well-received game that came out in the, no, not 90s, well, actually, yeah, it was 99. Because that's when the film came out. And so it's an older game that is now being ported to newer consoles, newer systems. And yeah, it was well received. It was a fun racing game. And so if you are into racing games with a twist, here you go. You got a brand new old game. Yeah. And so that's about it that's coming out this week. Like I said, nothing super special, but Halo 2 is something to really look out for if you are a PC gamer. Because it's Halo 2. And it's never been on PC before. I think Halo 1 is the only Halo game to come to PC. However, you can like make maps for Halo 5 on PC, I believe. It was something weird like that. Well, actually, I shouldn't say the only Halo game because Halo Wars 2, I don't think the first, I don't know, some various spin-off games, but mainline, you know what I'm saying. So, getting into the gaming news of the week. So, first off, Cyberpunk 2077 is scheduled a news broadcast for June. So, essentially what was going on here, and definitely was something that I was going to look into more earlier, but did not. But June 11th, they are going to seemingly do like an E3-esque broadcast called Night City Wire. So, assumedly, we will get a bunch of new information about the game, as it's supposed to drop in September, so I would assume we'll get loads of cool stuff. Now, because there totally would have been an E3 demo, what I hope that they and a bunch of other companies do, in lieu of E3 being canceled, is put out free demos on the store. Like, you know, with Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out with a demo, and plenty of other games. Demos are not a new thing, but like, I hope that a lot more companies do this because people can't go to E3 this year, or like any other convention. I believe Gamescom's canceled, but they're doing online stuff. E3 is not, but yeah. So we're supposed to get a bunch of new information about Cyberpunk June 11th, which is just over a month away, and I am so pumped. Another news thing that happened this week in terms of Cyberpunk is that, sorry, I'll talk about that in a sec, but they are you're able to customize your genitals, and so the Cyberpunk developers are trying to be much more progressive, and something I really appreciate. And so there's not going to be like typical gender options. Instead, everything's going to be kind of customizable. I'm interested to see how far that goes, and maybe we'll find out on June 11th, but because I made a tweet like a month or so ago that I thought would be really cool if there would be a game that come out, instead of picking male or female, you just, you know, it was all the options were in like one palette, and they just referred to the character as they or them, because then, you know, it'd be completely gender neutral, and, you know, people wouldn't have to feel so isolated. And so I'm interested to see if, you know, they would potentially go that far, but they've kind of marketed it as if they'll be like a male-esque and a female-esque character, and like maybe, I don't know, it seems like they're kind of separate character. I don't know, it just seems like they've kind of marketed it that way. However, I don't look at a whole lot of pre-release stuff for games anymore, because some of them can get kind of spoilery. Like The Last of Us Part 2 just dropped a trailer, a launch trailer, and I didn't watch it because I'm worried about spoilers, especially because The Last of Us Part 2 ending got leaked. I don't know what it is, but a lot of people know, and it kind of scares me, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't watch that stuff, especially like with Death Stranding. Its launch trailer spoiled a bunch of stuff. I didn't watch that either, and so yeah, I've noticed a lot of pre-release stuff gets a little spoilery, and so unless I am like super 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 pumped for a game, and even then, like, I might not necessarily like towards the beginning, yes, but as we get closer and closer to the game, I'm less likely to learn more about it because I don't want anything spoiled. Like, I want to go in as fresh as possible, but not ignorant. I want to know what the game's like, what's going on with the game, but I just don't want anything spoiled for me. I don't want anything to ruin the experience. So yeah, that's yeah, right. Anyway, what I was like ughing about earlier, if you are watching on YouTube, so I've been uploading these videos on YouTube, right? And for some reason, my Wi-Fi is just not cooperating. I don't know if it's a YouTube thing. I feel like at this point it's a YouTube thing because my Wi-Fi isn't the greatest right now today, but it's not this terrible because I've had stuff uploading for like a few hours now, and it's at 5% uploaded, and it's really making me upset. And so yeah, there's just very 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 slow progress on these things, and it's yeah. So that's what I'm upset about because I'm trying to get them up. But I might just shift, because I'm in the basement right now, so I might just shift everything upstairs and connect it directly with Ethernet and be like, all right, try me now. I don't know, but after the podcast. So where was I? Oh yes, Xbox 2020 has been announced, so we are supposed to get monthly updates on Series X, new games, and more. This is something I'm super excited about. So yeah, starting in June, I believe. Hold up. Actually, no, it's starting today. And so, starting with the May 7th episode of Inside Xbox, we will be showcasing what happens next in the world of Xbox every month, which is why we're calling it Xbox 2020. These monthly moments will take place throughout the rest of the year and will be a way for us to engage, connect, and celebrate with you about what's in store for the next generation of gaming, including what's next for Xbox Series X, Xbox Game Studios, Xbox Game Pass, and Project xCloud. Every month will bring something different. Stay tuned to Xbox Wire for more details. So yeah, they're going to be announcing a bunch of new stuff. They said that in July they will focus on, yeah, like, did they say that in the actual thing? No. So in July, they're going to be focusing on looking at first-party Xbox Series X games from Xbox Game Studios, which is probably where we'll get our deep dive into Halo Infinite. Before then, probably not. So look for that in July. So that's really, really exciting. They're also partnering up with IGN for doing some stuff in June. But yeah, doing a lot of cool stuff there. So Xbox fans, we're getting a lot of Series X stuff this summer, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of PS5 stuff this summer as well. It's just Xbox is announcing everything first. Next up, we've gotten our first screenshots of the next-gen game, Lord of the Rings Gollum. And this is a game I was super excited about, mostly because of Middle-earth, to be honest, like Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. Those games are really, really good. This is not from the same developer. It is from the same publisher, so completely different things, but, you know, same property owners. And so there might be a little bit of, like, you know, corporate kind of being like, hey, do this, but ultimately we shouldn't expect like the same thing. And definitely not after seeing these screenshots, so you can look them up if you wish, but it has kind of like a cartoony look. Honestly, I'm expecting something along the lines of Styx, if you've heard of those games. There are two like AA games. I wouldn't call them indie games, but they're not really AAA. And they are like stealth adventure games. And it seems like that's what we're going to get with Gollum. And so, yeah, it's people are like, we're kind of like, you know, oh, we're getting next gen screenshots, and you know, that's cool right now because we're seeing things on next gen systems. Except since it is kind of cartoony, it's like, it's not that impressive. Like, some of the textures are really nice. Like, there are a couple things that are very, very detailed, but overall, like, you know, it's not like super super impressive. But it's also made by a small development team, and so I don't even know if I would call this a AAA game. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, it's supposed to come out on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC in 2021, and it's also based off of the books, not the movies. And so a lot of adaptations are very heavily influenced by Peter Jackson's imagining, but they are going strictly off of the books. And so yeah, that's a thing. So, there. Next up, talking a little bit more about Xbox, something I kind of already mentioned about how today we are getting an Inside Xbox that's showcasing Xbox Series X third-party games. So we're going to see our first actual like Series X gameplay, and so that's super exciting. Probably by the time that this podcast goes up, it will have already aired, and so this is more of a reminder of, if you haven't seen it already, go watch it if you're interested, because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, including stuff from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I will talk at length about in a minute. But yeah, I mean, if I had more time, I would do like a separate like bonus podcast just unpacking that Inside Xbox, but I think I'm gonna save that for next week, and that might just be the big thing I talk about next week. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I just don't think I have the time for it because I burden myself enough with things to do. But yeah, so we're getting a bunch of stuff today. Like I said, probably gonna be up before, because it is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific, and so I usually get up around 2 nowadays, and so yeah, it's probably not gonna be up before that. I could upload it all tonight, but I'm not going to. So yeah, well, especially because the Wi-Fi is doing whatever it's doing tonight. If it doesn't fix itself, it's definitely not going up tonight. But yeah, so we're gonna get a bunch of third-party stuff. We don't know what it is. We only know that Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be there, but otherwise, we could see the Lord of the Rings Gollum, seeing as we just got screenshots about it, and so I would not put it past. Some other potential games we could see would be Battlefield 6, Godfall, Gods and Monsters, Outriders, Rainbow Six Quarantine. However, Godfall is only confirmed for PS5 and PC, so I'm not saying that Godfall has been confirmed for Series X. I'm just saying that they could potentially be like, hey, it's coming to Series X too. So yeah, it's potential. Yeah, so yeah, we could see a bunch of different stuff. We're not sure. The only thing that's been confirmed is Valhalla. And that takes us to our last news, which is that Assassin's Creed Valhalla got announced. Oh, so we knew a long time ago that, I mean, it was heavily rumored that we were getting a Viking Assassin's Creed game, and so they didn't even try to hide it this time, really. Well, they kind of did. I don't know. They did a whole thing like last week where they had Boss Logic, which was pretty cool. They did a live stream of him making an artwork piece of Assassin's Creed, showing off the location, and then the protagonist Ivor. And so it was really cool. It was because, I appreciate Boss Logic a lot. I've been following him for a few years now. And he is an incredible artist, and so they just live streamed him making the art piece in Photoshop, I believe, some sort of art thing. But then the next day we got a cinematic trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla and a bunch of information about the game, which is really cool. So I'm gonna actually talk about some stuff that a lot of people are wondering, and so the whole thing about with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So you were able to choose between a male or a female character that will be returning. Now they are both named Ivor, and so you'll be able to choose between a male or a female Ivor. However, they are both considered canon, so this is not a whichever is canon. Like, it's going to be like Assassin's Creed Odyssey in that both male and female characters are canon. How that exactly goes, that there are two powerful Viking warriors named Ivor in there, remains to be seen, but they said that we'll find out when we play the game how it's canon, but it is. And so it's going to be exactly like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that you can choose male or female, and both of them are in the world, and that's the first of many decisions that will affect your game. Also, the sort of like big thing that they're advertising and it being different is that you have a settlement. So you play as Ivor, who is the leader of this Viking tribe, and apparently very soon into the game, you leave Norway to start settling England. And this, very hostile king of England, hold up, it's probably in my notes here. It's like Arthur? No, Albert, there we go. See, I know stuff off the top of my head because I'm such a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but King Albert is very opposed to you coming to England, and so there's a lot of fighting between the two of you throughout the game. But you actually create a settlement in England, and you build that settlement throughout the game. So it's much less about going to new areas and, you know, filling in the map as it is, you know, going back to your settlement, to your home base, building it, and then slowly like branching out, exploring other areas to improve your settlement. And so that sort of like hub is something that we haven't really seen all that much in Assassin's Creed, at least for a long time, and definitely not to this extent. And so that seems to be the big thing that they are sort of adding to the Assassin's Creed gameplay with Valhalla, and I am super excited. Also, quick advertisement, because I am such a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, to get ready for Valhalla, I've actually started playing the Assassin's Creed games from the very beginning. Actually, the videos that I'm uploading right now are more videos of Assassin's Creed, so I'm doing Let's Play walkthroughs of all the Assassin's Creed games, including the spin-offs. That means Chronicles, Freedom Cry, Liberation, I mean, Freedom Cry is technically a DLC, but you know what I mean. I'm playing all of them, trying to get through all of them before Valhalla. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, because I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and so I was so excited. As soon as I woke up, I watched the trailer because, I mean, as excited as I am, I like sleep, so I missed the actual like posting of the trailer, but I watched it as soon as I woke up. It was like not long after it came out. But yeah, so Assassin's Creed Valhalla, super awesome. I'm super excited, and we are like, I'm doing really good at time right now. Like, I'm timing this out pretty perfectly. Now, where it's going to fail is this next topic, because now we got our main topic, which is pretty lackluster because Corona. And that is because it is the beginning of the month. It's time to do a little recap of April and look and see what we have to look forward to in May, which is not much. So the best game of the month, according to Metacritic, was Final Fantasy VII Remake, for good reasons. Also, the most popular game, the game everybody was talking about that released in April, because if we were to say the most popular game of April, the most talked about one, it probably still would be Animal Crossing. I would not say that it is today, but I'd say for the majority of the month. But it definitely switched to Final Fantasy VII as well. So this, I mean, Final Fantasy won April by a lot. I kind of feel bad for Resident Evil 3 because it kind of got drowned out by Final Fantasy. But yeah, I've played a bunch of this game. It definitely deserves it. Essentially, the debate among critics that has kept it from, like, you know, I mean, will there be Game of the Year nominations? Maybe, like a couple. Like, it might get nominated, maybe no winning, but I would not, you know, I wouldn't doubt that. But I think what keeps it from reaching that, like, elevated status is a lot of critics, and I kind of agree to an extent, say that, you know, the pacing is not good, that, you know, it is very stretched, and they're right. I mean, this game covers 10 to 15% of the original game. It is just a Midgar section, and there's a lot of filler in this game. For the first, I'd say, like, 8-ish hours of the game, honestly, it's perfectly fine. Like, I didn't really have any issues, but where I'm at now, I think I'm about like 20 hours in. I'm a little over halfway through the game, and that says a lot. They stretch this 10 to 15% into 40 hours of gameplay. So yeah, there are some parts that are definitely less satisfying than others, but my thing is because I watch anime, so I know all about fillers. The way that you handle a filler, like making it work, is by incorporating the story and making sure that, you know, you're developing the characters enough to make it worthwhile. And they do it sort of, like, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. And so when you do get more story and you get more time with the characters and learning about, you know, why they do the things they do, you know, how they feel about certain things, it can really make it go by like because I don't want to say it can make it bearable, because it seems like it's still a chore, because it makes it not a chore. It makes it, you know, you want to play through those parts because you experience the story there, and so it's okay. But then there are other times they don't do that as much, and it does get kind of sloggy. And so yeah, I totally understand where critics are coming from, and I have not beaten the game yet, so it could get even worse for myself. But through what I've experienced so far, I totally understand where they're coming from, and I don't blame them. But it's really fun, and so I would heavily recommend to you guys to play this game if you are a fan of JRPGs at all or just like really good stories in video games, because I do really enjoy the story. Except, you know, if you play JRPGs, if you haven't had any experience in JRPGs, you know that the story makes no sense until 2 hours from the end, except this is only a part 1, which means honestly the story of this will never make like complete sense. So as long as you go into it knowing that, I don't see it as a downside. You know, when Final Fantasy VII Remake Part Final comes out in 2027, you know, we'll have our closure. But until then, you just gotta bear with it, and I'm at peace with that. So that was April. Like I said, I played an hour of Resident Evil 3. I do plan on going back to that. I think after I finish Final Fantasy VII, I think I'm gonna go back and play Resident Evil 3, because I haven't beaten any games this year. Actually, no, that's a lie. I beat Guilt. I played through Guilt, the Stadia exclusive. I played through that the other day, actually. It's one of the games I've played this week. But I've only beaten one game this year, and that was because that was a 4-hour game. Yeah, I've played a lot of games this year, but I haven't beaten like hardly any of them, just one. So yeah, I want to go back and get some of my backlog, because I buy way too many games. So I'm trying to get better about that. But looking forward to May, we used to have a bunch. I mean, this was supposed to be The Last of Us Part 2. This was supposed to be Wasteland 3. This was supposed to be, actually, I think I was about to say this was supposed to be Iron Man VR, but I think that was supposed to be in April. And then before that, February. But then Corona hit, and yeah. So now, post-Corona, well, not really post-Corona, because we're still not over it, but like, now the only big game coming out this month is Minecraft Dungeons, which I'm excited about, and I'm definitely going to be checking out. Because, you know, it seems like a cool little dungeon crawler that's kind of family friendly, and so, you know, it might be a little nice. It'd be kind of like a second wave Animal Crossing, you know what I mean? That you can everybody can kind of get into in our, I mean, I'm not in quarantine anymore in my area, but we're still, obviously the world is still recovering, and so, it's a nice little distraction. Would be Minecraft Dungeons. So I'm excited about it. It comes out May 26th, so that is towards the end of the month, assuming it does not get delayed further. It was supposed to come out last month, but then it got moved back because of coronavirus. So hopefully everything's good there. But otherwise, I mean, we do have Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming out. We've got some other games. I found out that The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners drops. It just surprise drops on PSVR on Tuesday, I believe, just yesterday. I'm so upset because I'm so broke because of coronavirus right now. So it's like, I want it so bad. I might try to scrounge something up, but I don't have the money for it. But I might try to scrounge something up. Also, Gorn comes out on PSVR like next week-ish. It's within these next couple weeks, and that's upsetting as well because I was going to pick that up as soon as it came out, but now basically coronavirus has ruined my life. I mean, there honestly have been some good things that have come out of coronavirus, but it's messed up everything. It ruined my summer plans, every single one of them actually. Yeah, and so yeah, right now I've lost my summer job at Michigan because of coronavirus. I'm looking at other options, but I'm currently unemployed because I quit my old job in preparation of the Michigan job right before coronavirus hit. And I mean the day before I was told that I could not go back to school, and I was stuck here, and I've been stuck here since the day before I quit my job. And so money's been really hard lately. But I got that stimulus check. Gang gang. Yeah, I've had a lot of bad luck with coronavirus. But yeah, not a lot of games coming out, but we're getting a couple. But Minecraft Dungeons, that's the only big one because everything else got delayed. Wasteland got delayed to August. The Last of Us got pushed back to June. And then Ghost of Tsushima got pushed back to July, but it wasn't coming out this month. It was coming out in June. And so yeah, it's kind of sad, but whatever. And actually, I mean, I forgot, but Minecraft Dungeons is kind of a big game because, well, in another aspect, because it's an Xbox first-party title because Microsoft owns Mojang. And so it's, you know, another first-party Xbox game that's coming out. I need to check out Bleeding Edge too. I mean, I technically already played it. I think I can talk about it now. I don't think I talked about it before. I don't think there's really anything they can do to me at this point. But I actually have played Bleeding Edge before. I played it at the alpha, the closed alpha, where you're not supposed to say anything about it. Because, you know, if it's bad, it's obviously not a final build, and they can change it, and they don't want, like, negative press for something that's not finished, obviously, and it makes sense why they would not want people to talk about it. But I liked it. I thought there was a lot of potential there. I mean, it wasn't, like, anything super revolutionary, but I don't think they really marketed it as such. I don't think it's a full $60 game. It's on Game Pass, so it costs a flat nothing for me, but, like... yeah, it seems like it's really fun. No one really talked about it. It got kind of mixed reviews, but I do plan on getting back into that. Also, Gears Tactics came out. That was another thing that came out in April that every Xbox fanboy is like, don't sleep on Gears Tactics, but everybody's sleeping on Gears Tactics. I mean, apparently it's like it's, you know, it's got a lot of cool stuff from Gears and a lot of cool stuff from XCOM. It doesn't do either one better than themselves. Like, it's not a better XCOM game and it's not a better Gears game, but it's a good mix of the two. And so that's what I've been hearing. But I personally am not going to check it out, at least now, because I've got other things to do. But yeah, that's basically what's been going on. And now I feel upset because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about there. And that's another reason why I kind of held off on bringing back the podcast. Was I've been thinking about it for a few weeks, at least, if not more. But then because of coronavirus, we were getting not very much gaming news, and most of the gaming news was just, you know, things getting delayed. There wasn't really a whole lot going on. And so now that we're getting to the point where not necessarily that coronavirus is getting better, I think it might be, but I don't want to like say that, like, knock on wood. But it's more people are getting adjusted to it, and so things are kind of resuming a little bit, just differently. And so we're getting more stuff. So I just didn't want to have 20-minute podcasts, and so yeah, that's part of the reason why. And so maybe hopefully things will kick back up. Like I said, next week will probably be a lot more, because I'll be able to talk about the Inside Xbox, hopefully all the cool stuff going on in that, and, you know, maybe 27 other things we get announced. That'll be super cool. But let's get into the games I've been playing this week, because now that I'm back playing video games, I am like back. So let's get into it. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake, as I already said. I've been playing some Predator Hunting Grounds. That is one of the other big games that came out this month that PlayStation literally didn't give a crap about. The only marketing I've seen for that game has been on some online ads I've seen since the game came out. It's got a lot of technical issues, but the core gameplay is pretty good. I was actually planning on playing it tonight, but then I forgot that I had this podcast. I realized it, and I was like, oh yeah. And I'm glad I realized it, because I said on the video explaining my absence on my YouTube channel that I was going to bring back the podcast this week, so I'm glad I didn't screw it up. And so I'm probably gonna play some more tomorrow night. But the core gameplay is fun. It's just, it's very difficult to get into matches sometimes, and it can be a little glitchy, a little buggy. But it is a $40 game, so it's important to note that. So I've been playing some of that. I've been playing Assassin's Creed. Again, like I mentioned before, I played all of Guilt on Stadia. I've been trying to get some more use out of Stadia as we're approaching 6 months. Its 6-month birthday is in a couple weeks. Woot woot, it's slowly but surely getting better. I don't think it's really done anything worse. Like, I don't think they've really slipped up, per se. They haven't really done anything bad. They're really slow at putting out features, and it's making me upset. But they haven't done, like I said, they haven't done anything bad. They just have been taking forever to get on their feet. And like they've been slowly but surely like adding more games, adding a few new features, like just trickling them in. And it's like, I'm sure coronavirus is making it just so much harder for them. But yeah, they're slowly gaining. Like, when it launched, Stadia was okay. Now I think Stadia is good. Still not great, but good. That's kind of where I'm at now with Stadia. Hopefully it continues to get better and better, and I think it will. Yeah, because it's I'm hearing more and more companies are kind of signing on with Stadia and doing things, which is actually kind of surprising to me, because I thought that after the disastrous launch that was Stadia's launch, companies would pull out. And especially because, like I said, Stadia has not done anything really all that special, except they basically kind of opened up Stadia base to everybody. Everybody's allowed to get that Stadia Pro 2 months free because of coronavirus. And so that was kind of a good thing that they did. So now basically Stadia is free for everyone right now. So that's kind of helped get more of a player base on Stadia. But other than that, but yeah, I've been playing a bunch of Stadia games. I've been playing some Destiny 2 again, because I still haven't beaten the game. I'm on the newest expansion though. What is that called? Yeah, Shadow, whatever the newest expansion was called. I'm on it, and I don't know how far I am. I'd like to think I'm because I kind of want to be done with it, because like it's okay. It's just very grindy, and I don't do, like, you gotta give me a reason. It's the same thing with like filler. Like, if you give me something substantial in filler, I'll eat it. I will consume it. The same thing with grinding. If you give me something substantial in grinding, I'll consume it. And like, they don't always do that. And so yeah, the newest expansion's not the greatest, but whatever the one before that was with Cade, shoot, Forsaken, dope, loved it. But I also had some problems with the whole free-to-play model with Destiny 2. It's kind of taken away some of the fun out of the game, the free-to-playness, because you don't have level up. You can't really level up your stuff anymore. It's kind of annoying. I miss it, but I understand why, since they are on like a free-to-play model. It doesn't make as much sense, and they kind of wanted people to be able to like jump in and not have to play. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. I've also been playing some Darksiders Genesis. I actually just started playing that today. Well, I obviously started, but I started playing more of it today, recently, like within recent times, because I want to try to get through that game again. So I've been playing it on Stadia. I tried out Serious Sam HD Collection with a buddy. We were playing some co-op, so we were playing Serious Sam 3. Neither of us have played the first two. It's just 3 looks better and plays better because it's newer, and so it's literally just a Doom ripoff, kind of, but it's good. It's fun. It's just like classic fun. I mean, if you've played the Serious Sam games, you get it. Like, it's just, they're fun games. I've played 3 on the PC a long time ago, and you know, it's free on Stadia, so I jumped in. We played some co-op. We also played some co-op Zombie Army 4. So that's a game that I'd also played, but it's also free on Stadia now. So we jumped in and did some co-op together, and it's a fun co-op game. I mean, it's Call of Duty Zombies. That's exactly what it is, except more emphasis on sniping. But good game. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of games that's just within this past week. But yeah, I'm trying to get a lot more use out of Stadia, because I think they're slowly improving their input lag. I don't notice it as much anymore, and that's after I've used NVIDIA GeForce Now, which has much better, like much less input lag, and so that says something that I'm noticing it less on Stadia. Although when I was playing Destiny 2, like, I did notice it's like it has a variable input lag. Like, there were times when assumedly my internet connection would suffer, and then I would feel the input lag get like a little bit more, like there was a little bit more input lag, and then it would go away, and like, but like that seemed to be the first thing to go. Like, it seems to be that there's slightly more input lag, and then the resolution dips because of, and I think the resolution dips to correct it. There we go. I was trying to think of that word. The resolution will dip to correct it, because they don't want you to lose frames or get that input lag or anything like that, so they'll dip the resolution. But yeah, it seems like they have some variable input lag going on there, and it might not be for every game. I just noticed it while I was playing Destiny the other day, but I only noticed it once. It wasn't something I was consistently noticing, but I've been having problems with my Stadia controller. My buddy has not, but it will briefly like shut off and turn right back. Like, it'll be like a second, but like it'll just cut out and then go back on. I don't know if that's a connection issue, like, because the Stadia controller connects directly to Wi-Fi, or like directly to the servers, and so I don't know if it's a connection issue or what. It probably is, but it's making me upset because it doesn't usually affect my gameplay, but it can at times, and so it makes me upset. Like especially like playing Destiny or anything like more competitive. Yeah, it can be upsetting, and so yeah, I've been playing a lot more Stadia. I've been playing a lot of games. I'm having a great time. And it's also my birthday on Sunday. So heck yeah, 21, living it up. And yes, I will be living it up. And so, other than that, I think I'm going to end it there. It's a little bit shorter. But like I said, with coronavirus and everything, and also I'm getting back into it. I mean, hopefully things will get longer. And we'll have more to talk about with that Inside Xbox presentation. And so thank you guys for listening or watching or both. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Yeah, we'll probably be talking a lot more about the Inside Xbox thing. We'll be talking about who knows what happens with the world. I'll probably be playing, I mean, I will be playing more of all the above. Well, not all of the above, but like I'll play more Final Fantasy. I mean, playing more Predator. I mean, playing more Assassin's Creed. Probably playing some more Destiny and Darksiders. And then who knows? There could be some amazing game that drops. Maybe Halo 2 Anniversary on PC is absolutely phenomenal, and I've got to get my hands on it and play it on PC because they've added 12 new chapters. I don't say no, but like, yeah, who knows? And so I will let you guys know next week on episode 11 of Game Patrol. So until then, I'll see you.